So friends, today we're going to use the semáforo to talk about the difference between the preterite and the imperfect. And I like to use the stoplight because it kind of gives you a focus. It gives you an idea of what the preterite resembles versus the imperfect. So for the very top, I like to signify the red is the preterite. Because in the past, when we're using the past, the preterite is a one-time action. Okay, kind of like a stoplight. It's a stop. It's a one-time action. It's done and over in the past. Okay. We use the preterite for when we know when an action took place. Okay. So I have a couple of what we call flag words, or palabras de bandera. And when we see those words, we say to ourselves, oh, it's going to be in the preterite tense. Some of those words include, anyone? Ayer, exactly. Ayer, meaning yesterday. Anoche. Well, I think what you're thinking of is anything pasado. Yeah. So that could be el año pasado, el mes pasado, la semana pasada, right? Any of those things. Or we have that fun word anteayer, which means the day before yesterday. So that's the preterite for you. We're going to skip the yellow for now and go into the green. In the green, this is used for the imperfect. Because the imperfect is more of an ongoing action that occurs in the past. It continues to happen. Okay. And I have a little acronym that I use to kind of remind us when to use imperfect, because there are rules. And that acronym is shadow lit. Exactly. L-I-T. Yep. Shadow lit. And each one of these stand for a rule or a reason to use imperfect tense. So let's see what you remember. The S is for, story setting. So when we are setting a story in Spanish, it was a dark and rainy night. There were 3 people in the basement. Okay. The H stands for habit. That's correct. Anytime you tell me something that is habitual in the past, you want to use the imperfect. For example, every summer I would go to the beach. Or every Sunday I go to the grocery store. Or every Sunday I watch the Browns lose. Things like that. Okay. A stands for age. When you tell your age in the past, we do it in the imperfect. So if I was telling you a story about when I was 12 years old, I would say, tenía, you recognize that right away is imperfect, 12 años. The D stands for, description. Whenever you are describing someone or something in the past, it was tall, she was interesting. They were blocks. I don't know. You're describing something in the past. The O stands for, ongoing action. We don't know exactly, it's not specified. Something was happening in the past. And it continued to happen in the past. It's kind of streaming through time. The W stands for weather. It actually has 2 things. Weather. And whenever you describe the weather in the past, so this would be like hacía sol. We also use this for was, were plus ing, but let's put that under ongoing action because that would make more sense. So when we say was, were plus ing. So for example, I was running, she was wrestling the dog, whatever. The L stands for location. When you talk about where someone or something was located in the past. What verb, by the way, Michael, do we use for location? That's right. So it would be estaba. Estaba en la piscina. She was at the pool. I stands for?
Internal thoughts and feelings.
Yes, internal thoughts and feelings. Can you give me an example?
She was sad.
Yeah, just saying that she was sad. That is an internal thought or feeling. Okay. We were worried. Internal thought or feeling. And then the last one, the T stands for time. When you tell time in the past, it's going to be in the imperfect tense. So for example, if you want to say it was 3:30, in Spanish that would be eran las 3:30. Because anytime we tell time in the past, it's going to be in the imperfect tense. So these are just rules. When you give a habit, an age, a description, weather, location, time, any of those things have to be in the imperfect tense. But we also have what we call the flag words for the imperfect tense. And those include words like, cuando. Okay. Siempre. Cada. Todo. Anybody have some other ones for me? Nunca. A veces. So what I like about a lot of these, like siempre, cada, todo, these all refers to habit, right? Always, every, each. That's describing a habit. So a lot of these follow right in line with those rules. All right, if we come back to the yellow, this is basically, sometimes we can have preterite or we could have imperfect. It's really up to the discrepancy of the speaker. So it's possible to have an ongoing action that gets interrupted by a one-time action. For example, I was running when I fell. Or we could have two ongoing actions at the same time, such as we were reading while she was talking. Right? Or we could have two preterite actions all at the same time. And that would be something like she slapped him and he broke his leg. Okay. So this is just basically what you're trying to say. Okay? Or let me show you one other example. Él jugaba tenis versus él jugó tenis. Now there's nothing in the sentence that signifies, nothing like ayer, siempre, anything like that, but we've got two sentences, one using the imperfect and one using the preterite. And because of that, they mean two very different things. What does él jugaba tenis mean? He used to play tennis. He used to play tennis. And so just by using jugaba, we're being told that this is happening over a period of time. He used to do this. But él jugó tenis means he played tennis. Okay, so we know that this happened one time in the past versus he used to play. So again, this is just kind of based on what you're trying to express. Are you trying to express something that's happening long term in the past or one time in the past? All right.